It hasn't happened in this way for over 600 years. Cardinals gather at the Vatican to elect a new pope while the previous pope is still alive. Local Catholics anticipating a new pontiff. Our top story on News 13 at 4:30.
From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Well, no pope today. Black smoke poured from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel as cardinals from around the world ended their first day of choosing a replacement for Pope Benedict. Here in Greater Hazleton, local Catholics are looking forward to some white smoke, the signal that a new pope has been selected. As Matthew Bertrillo tells us, area parishioners want the next pope to attract the next generation of Catholics.
115 cardinals are now locked inside the Sistine Chapel. Though their first ballot tonight is technically optional, it'll be taken to give cardinals their first complete sense of what to expect. Father Brian Clark says cardinals will pray to the Holy Spirit for guidance before casting every ballot.
When the cardinals step up to cast their vote, there's a prayer that they have to say that before God, they're making this commitment that they feel in their heart that this is truly the person that they feel should be the next Holy Father.
Father Brian says while no one is perfectly prepared to become pope, the next pontiff must have a broad skill set, like being a good manager and serving as the church's communicator-in-chief. That is, not only understanding the Catholic faith, but professing it in an attractive way.
The most important aspect would be the prayerfulness of the next Holy Father. In fact, we have that in Pope Benedict XVI, so we hope that that continues, because with that, you can surround yourself with people who can handle administration.
Some speculate the cardinals in Vatican City are open to an American cardinal from Washington, but higher on the list are cardinals from Brazil, Ghana, Canada, and Italy. Officially, the cardinals in Vatican City are not talking to the media, so any news coming out of Rome is pure speculation. As for parishioners here in Hazleton, they say they're sure what they want to see in the next pope. They hope he brings unity back to the Catholic Church.
I think we need somebody that really knows the issues, because there's so many issues around the world right now, unless they're going to church. And we need a pope that's going to bring them back, not chase them away.
I want to see a strong pope, one that can run the Catholic religion the way it's supposed to be run.
Father Brian says the church could see its new pontiff well before Easter.
In fact, if you look at several popes back, the most recent, it was usually in about 2 days. So by the weekend, we could have a new pope, and that would be a great blessing to the Universal Church.
The cardinals retired to a Vatican guest house Tuesday night. They'll return to the Sistine Chapel Wednesday and vote 4 times that day until they choose the man they believe to be the vicar of Christ on earth. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Hazleton.
First, it was 5,000 employees being forced to take rolling furloughs. Now the Tobyhanna Army Depot is announcing that 418 people will be laid off as the result of sequester cuts to the Defense Department budget. The depot has announced that its decreased funding and work volume is forcing it to lay off the workers who are covered under industrial trades and electronic contracts. 95 jobs will be completely eliminated. All the layoffs and dismissals will be done by the end of April. Now, contract workers at Tobyhanna perform many of the same functions as full-time government employees. The full-time and rotating layoffs were mandated by the federal budget sequester, which cut $500 million in military spending. The depot is located in the 17th Congressional District, represented by Congressman Matt Cartwright.
These are the people who are equipping our war fighters with communications and command and control and computer equipment. The kind of electronics work they do at Tobyhanna is unbelievably good. And to say that these people have to suffer because the politicians down in Washington can't roll up their sleeves and come to the table and reach a compromise, I think that's a sin, and I will be a loud voice to put a stop to this sequester.
Cartwright says the depot isn't the only military installation in his district which will take a hit due to the sequester cuts. He says the General Dynamics plant north of Scranton also expected to announce staff reductions. While plenty of people are losing their jobs, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance actually looking to increase staff. Hazleton General Hospital will hold a second job fair, especially for registered nurses tomorrow. Christina Papa went to the hospital today to find out how you sign up.
Nursing degree? Check. Leadership abilities? Check. Oh yeah, and don't forget your smile. The Hazleton General Hospital is looking for registered nurses to join their staff. So Wednesday, they're holding a special career fair to find those new team members. Lori Deffley is the Director of Human Resources at HGH. She says graduate nurses shouldn't be afraid to apply.
From a graduate nurse to a fully seasoned and experienced RN for some of our specialty areas, such as the emergency room or our intensive care unit or our OB unit.
The job fair is set up so applicants can get all their questions answered at once.
So we do have a table with our benefit information. We have the nurse managers here from all of the units within the hospital. You can speak directly with the nurse manager from that department.
There are several booths set up here at HGH for nurses who want a one-stop shop, but if you are unable to attend on Wednesday, you can still apply online.
So we're always willing to accept applications. We keep them on file for a period of 6 months so that when an opportunity does open up, we can contact the people who have their applications on file here.
Staff will also be on hand to answer questions. Lori says applicants shouldn't be alarmed if they get an on-the-spot interview, so be ready.
First and foremost is someone who has great customer service skills. You know, our patients deserve to be treated the way that we would want others to treat us. The other thing that we look for is their education and background.
Some of the positions available include pediatrics and home health nurse. The job fair will be held at the Hazleton General Hospital and will begin at 5 and last until 8 p.m. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
We now know more about the federal prison inmate who murdered the 34-year-old corrections officer from Nanticoke. Jesse Kanui is a member of the violent New Mexican mafia gang, and he was already serving a life prison term for killing a rival gang member when he killed corrections officer Eric Williams at the federal penitentiary in Wayne County. Information about the attack, which is now coming out, indicates that the inmate threw Williams down a set of steps and pounced, beating him and repeatedly stabbing him with a homemade knife. He'll be charged with a federal murder charge, which could carry the death sentence. Well, another crime of violence in Hazleton, a state police fire marshal calling a fire on a porch on South Vine Street a case of arson. Several young kids were inside sleeping when the blaze began on the front porch of the home. Police say somebody threw gasoline on the porch and lit it on fire. Two of the residents saw the orange flash outside and were able to quickly put out the flames. The residents at the home say they're lucky things didn't get worse.
All they did was look, seen a flash. They thought it was like a police officer going by or something happened. And my stepdaughter looked out the door and seen flames on the second step over here. So what she did was run inside, get a big pot of water and put some of it out. So at the time my ex-husband was here too, so he helped. And then we called the 911 and stuff. I'm very grateful for what she did, and I hope they find out who did it or what's going on.
The residents were allowed back in the house after the flames were extinguished. Fortunately, nobody was injured in that fire. Two girls facing citations following a porch clearing melee on 1st and Alter Streets yesterday afternoon. Hazleton police say they cited two juvenile girls for harassment after that large fight. Both of the girls involved were injured. They were taken by ambulance to be treated at Hazleton General Hospital. No word on their injuries. Response to first reports of a large number of people involved in that fight brought police from Hazleton, West Hazleton, and Hazleton State Police, plus a number of ambulances. The girls now have 10 days to respond to the harassment citations. Well, you can see it evolving here on News 13 on most nights. With greater frequency, we're reporting violent, even deadly crime in Hazleton. As Stephanie Gorney reports, a town hall meeting last night tried to identify the source and some solutions.
The increase in crime in Hazleton has been evident over the past couple weeks, with a fatal shooting and even more recently, a man being brutally beaten on Alter Street. On Monday evening, a town meeting on crime was held at the Wiltsey Center, and the citizens of Hazleton made it known that they are fed up with the violence and want what used to be a quiet city back.
Not too long ago, we would describe Hazleton as being a good city to live in, a good city to raise a family in, and a good city to go to school. Now when we describe Hazleton, we use words like gangs.
District Attorney Stephanie Salvantis assured Sylvia, as well as all the other citizens, that everything that can be done will be done to restore the city.
It will be beautiful and wonderful again. I have dedicated my resources, the little resources I have, as much as I possibly can to Hazleton because I know you guys are hurting that bad. You guys do need help.
Other citizens made it known that they are not going to watch the crime continue and that the community needs to stand up against the criminals.
Don't give criminals a reason to move to Hazleton. Don't bite what they say. Don't bite what they say. Say no to drugs. Say no to cigarettes.
State Representative Tara Toohill agreed that people in the community should help shut out the crime.
We do come from a beautiful place, and it is only going to be people that care, people that are good, closing their doors and saying, listen, you want to be uncivilized? You don't belong here. You want to disrespect our police? You don't belong here.
Although this was a talk about crime, some people came out to get some words of encouragement from the panel.
I came here tonight to look for a spark of positivity, something I can take home with me and feel better tonight in my house. A line, give me a line, something really positive. DA Salamantas gave me that tonight.
The district attorney, as well as everyone else on the panel, encouraged people to get involved with crime watches in their area.
I go around to many crime watch groups, and what I try to tell them all is don't be discouraged. And I say it at every crime watch group. Criminals are more afraid of the citizens on the street that are watching them than they are of the police officers that are uniformed on the streets.
Several hundred people attended this meeting and went home with the overall message that they have to get involved and be aware to help stop this crime. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Hazleton.
And the city's administration taking some quick action in response to some of the community concerns at last night's meeting. Hazleton Police Chief Frank DeAndrea was at the town meeting to talk about crime in the city and represent Mayor Joe Yanuzzi, who had a prior engagement. But the mayor says he took the public concerns to heart and says the city is moving forward to fight and prevent crime in a very concrete way.
We tried to put police on the police force and the budget was cut. But at this point, Steve and I have found some money, and we are going to put 2 new police on the streets. It's bringing us back to what we were 2 years ago. We were around 40, and we went down from there. We're at a good capacity.
Mayor Yanuzzi was in the News 13 studios with City Administrator Steve Hahn for a taping of the Sam Lassant Show, which will run tonight at 7 p.m. Coming up on News 13, a flood watch in effect till around 6 o'clock this evening. We'll tell you where things go from here in News 13 weather. And why is the local school district getting even more super? We'll tell you why it's essential just ahead on News 13.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Super segment. I'm with Dr. Antonelli, and we're going to talk about the new assistant superintendent. Can you explain who is he? What are his credentials?
Dr. Craig Butler from the State College Area School District. He's a highly regarded high school principal from that district, and we are very pleased to have Dr. Butler join our administrative team.
And can you explain what are going to be some of the things that he will be, dealing with as assistant superintendent?
He'll largely be responsible for developing curriculum at the 9th through 12th level, and that is an awesome task, Christina, especially now since in Pennsylvania we are transitioning from the Pennsylvania academic standards to the Pennsylvania Common Core standards, which are based on the National Common Core standards as promulgated by the National Governors Association. So we have much work to do in the area of curriculum revision, especially at that level, but really across the board, K to 12. And Dr. Butler will be a tremendous asset in that transition to Common Core.
Very nice. It sounds like it'll be good. You'll have 2 assistant superintendents at the moment, is that right? But Mr. Basic won't be here for much longer.
That's correct, and I should preface by saying that at one point in time, the district did have 6 central office administrators. We are down to 2, Mr. Basic and myself. As I said, Dr. Butler will be joining us. Mr. Basic will be retiring, and he will be sorely missed, a tremendous asset to this district, a true gentleman, and he will be missed by many. We will be posting his position for a 2nd assistant superintendent, largely responsible for HR work.
Okay, so they all, both assistants help you, but they also help in different ways in the school district, is that right?
That's correct. They'll have assigned responsibilities throughout the district.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks so much for catching us up on that, and that's this week's Super segment. We'll see you guys next week.
And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily number 388, the big 4 9830, Quinto 39697, and the treasure hunt 3 8 11 14 and 25. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. One announcement for this evening: Trinity Academy will be holding its 7th annual theme basket auction April 13th in the former Cardinal Brennan Fieldhouse in Fountain Springs. Doors open at 5 p.m. and auction begins at 7 p.m. All proceeds benefit the Academy. For more information, please call 570-462-3927. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Charlotte Ann Ross of Hazleton. Memorial will be held Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the John J. Pustai Funeral Home. Bernard J. Savakinis of Gerardville. The Lukovitz-Orovitsfeld Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Daniel P. Walco of Hazel Township. Funeral is Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. from the Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Carolyn H. Mattias of Bloomsburg. Services Thursday at 3 p.m. in the Trinity Lutheran Church. Friends may call Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Thomas H. Benjamin, formerly of McAdoo. Memorial services Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Fisherman's Cabin of the Souderton-Haleysville Association. Friends may call Sunday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the Butler Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Marie L. Lukey of Drums. Mass is Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the St. John Bosco Church. Friends may call at the church from 9:30 to 10 a.m. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home is assisting the family. Master Sergeant Wilson Reyes, formerly of Hazleton. Services were held in Texas. Karen Sorosky of Drums. Arrangements will be announced by the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home. And Margaret M. Matz of Freeland. Arrangements will be announced by the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, and pre-order your palm crosses now by calling 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
Area School District may be one step closer to making changes to the old Bishop Hayfie building. The Hazel Township Board of Supervisors approved the first step toward the redevelopment of the former Catholic high school yesterday. Hazleton area bought the property last year and plans to renovate the existing school and expand it to create the new Maple Manor Elementary Middle School. Plans for the first phase of construction have already been approved by the Township's Planning Commission. Today's torrential rain has the National Weather Service issuing a flash flood advisory for our area. Heavy downpours all day, just too much for some storm drains to handle. Just take a look at these puddles all over greater Hazleton area. The Weather Service says the heavy rain will continue till about 6 o'clock tonight, and as a result, there will probably be localized street flooding, as well as some flash flooding along small creeks and streams. Fortunately, the rain should taper off as we move into the evening hours. Time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar, you can see why that flash flood warning is in effect, but the good news is you can see the heavy rain starting to move on out of here. Our creative condition, not about a rainy day. It's by Genesis Santos, a second grader at West Hazleton Elementary Middle School, who drew a picture of a sunny day. She says her sister's throwing a party for her and her friend Brittany. Good for them. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for greater Hazleton tonight. Rain moving out, then partly cloudy with a low around 29 degrees. For Wednesday, sunny with a chance of afternoon snow showers, high of 38. The nighttime lows down to 19 degrees though. Thursday, a slight chance of some early morning snow showers, then partly sunny and blustery, a high only up to 29. That's a big change. Overnight low all the way down to 18 degrees. And for Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 37. Chance of some snow Friday night with a low of 24. And for Saturday, partly sunny with a chance of snow showers, high getting up to 36 degrees. On to Schuylkill County. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low down to 31. Then for tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers, high up to 41. Chance of some nighttime snow showers with the low down to 24 degrees. And for Thursday, partly sunny, but a high of only about 34 degrees, the low overnight down to 23. For Friday, partly sunny with a high near 40, a low around 31. And on Saturday, mostly cloudy with a chance of rain and snow mixed with a high near 42 degrees. And still ahead on News 13, the PIAA State Basketball Tournament keeps moving forward. Fred Barletta on News 13 Sports. Stay with us. And that's News 13 for your Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch this newscast again with rebroadcast throughout tonight, or just go to News 13's website any old time, SSPTV.com, where you'll always find the local and regional news you need and the community news you want. For the entire News 13 team, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Have a great night.